And Psalm chapter 81 in the King James Version. To the chief musician upon Gittith, a psalm of Asaph. Sing aloud unto God our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the God of Jacob. Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the God of Jacob. This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were delivered from the pots. Thou callest in trouble, and I delivered thee. I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee at the waters of Meribah, Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will testify unto thee, O Israel, if thou wilt hearken unto me. There shall no strange God be in thee, neither shalt thou worship any strange God. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up unto their own hearts' lusts, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. I should soon have subdued their enemies and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee. So, in this chapter, there's a lot of information here, a lot about what the Lord did for Israel, and also there is something about the description the description of the things that go on that relate even to the present day, and trying to understand why things happen and what is the reason for things happening, even for today. Sometimes people's desires and sometimes people's own wishes and wants overpower themselves. And not is it just themselves, but sometimes there's that influence. And we talked about it in just the previous Bible study, where there can be influence. There can be influence that comes and helps us to go down that hardship, helps us to choose a wrong path, helps us and manipulates and pushes us and shoves us into thinking the way that we should not think. But by having the full armor of God, by focusing on the Lord, that prevents those things. But understand, the Lord will eventually allow for something to happen. Look at Israel. They begged and pleaded to do things, to have a king. And Samuel had to be told, Samuel the prophet had to be told that it wasn't that the people were wanting the king, they were rejecting me. God was telling them they were rejecting him, their God. So think about those things when we want to take actions for ourselves. Listen to this. It starts in verse 10 and it goes through verse 13. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. So the Lord is saying, seek me, call unto me, talk to me. I am thy God, I am thy help, right? And he's telling Israel, he's telling us as well. So I gave them up, but my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So the demand was there. There was a demand, there was a want, there was not patience, there was not wanting anybody to control. They wanted to be in control. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels, their own heart's lust. That is someone telling us that we may be consumed, we may be obsessed with something. Think about this. Think about something that you just cannot stop thinking about in your life, and you just had to have it, or had to do it, or had to be there. There was something in your life at one time that it's something that went beyond, above and beyond what you would even consider normal. You just had to have that thing. You had to have the recognition. You had to be there. You had to be perfect. You had to be number one. You had to be above all. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lusts, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. When we take back control, when we believe that we have this control, and then we allow for these influences to come in, and we allow for our heart's desire to overwhelm us to the point where we're in demand. We have to be. It has to be now. It has to be the way I want. The Lord will see that. And occasionally, the Lord will give you your heart's desire. This is what you want. It's not what you're supposed to have or really actually want, but I'll allow it. Think about, sometimes it's a peer, sometimes it's a teacher. Think about it in another role too. So you're thinking about these things that overwhelm you, right? But also think about who it may affect. A parent, a guardian, a teacher, a peer, a friend, a very good friend, that they see this thing that you are obsessed with and overwhelmed by, and though they may know, or though they may have tried, or though they may have been through and provided examples, and yet you still want to continue on. God was there with them when it happened, when he allowed these things to happen. He's like, okay, here's your king. Okay, you wanted quail to, or you wanted meat to eat? Here you go. Okay, you wanted that car? Well, you really didn't, but here you go. You demanded that relationship? Well, here you go. You wanted that job? You want it to be first place? Here you go. And then you realize it's not cracked up. It's not all cracked up to what you thought it was. Before we go on, though, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?